Hello and welcome back to Online PTE. Now you all know me. I'm Jasmine and today we are going to be looking at one of the trickiest parts of reading test in PTE exam, multiple choice, multiple answer. This is module 3 reading, task 2, multiple choice, multiple answer. What is multiple choice, multiple answer in PTE reading test? In this test, you will be given a paragraph between like 200 to 250 words. It's not a paragraph, it's a text. It could be one paragraph, it could be 2 paragraphs, or maybe 3 paragraphs. And then you will be given a question with some options. So sometimes there are 5 options like A, B, C, D, E, and sometimes there are 7. It really depends on the test. C, D, E, F and G. Okay, so sometimes you have 5 options for a given question, sometimes you have 7, but you need to choose more than one answer. These questions have more than one correct answer, sometimes 2 correct answers, sometimes 3 correct answers. It's very unlikely that you get a question with 4 correct answers, but 2 and 3 are quite common. Now, what is really important in this particular reading test is that you should know this is negatively scored. Multiple choice, multiple answer is the only part of the reading test, which is negatively scored, because there are 2 more items in your listening test as well which have negative marking. Again, multiple choice, multiple answer in reading, and highlighting correct words in reading. So there are generally there are in total 3 tasks, 3 parts in your PTE exam which are negatively marked, and the first one is this one, multiple choice, multiple answer in reading. If your answer is correct, you will get 1. If it is incorrect, you will get -1. It means, let's say for example this question, B and D are correct responses. You get B and you get then E. Because E is not the response, so you will get 1 for this one, -1 for this one, so it's 0. Okay, so this is the negative scoring of multiple choice, multiple answer in PTE reading. That means please do not choose the option unless you are 100% sure. If you are 100% sure that this is the correct answer, click on it. Otherwise, leave it. Do not choose incorrect answer because it has negative mark. Okay, now what are some common tips and techniques to approach this particular test in PTE reading? First of all, it's really important, read the instruction carefully, because you know that this is task 2. Task 1, which is the first task of your reading, is multiple choice, single answer. Okay, so please read the instruction carefully. Is it multiple choice single or multiple choice multiple? Okay, this is the most important part, not in reading, in everything. And then read the question. Always read the question first, because after all, you must answer the question. Read the question and try to turn it into a statement. Try to simplify the question. Try to turn it into simple language so that you're 100% understanding the question. Turn to page 3 of your worksheets, please. Page 2 of your worksheets, please. There's a sample paragraph here, and there's a question. How many options you can see? Yes, there are 5 options here. Let's take a look at the question together and simplify the question. According to the text, which of the following statements can be concluded about primary classes in the Turks and Caicos Islands? So let's see how many key components does the question have. Which of the following statements can be concluded, which is quite important, means after a discussion we come to a conclusion. So these are the concluding comments about primary classes. So it may mean we have secondary classes as well, but the question only wants us to focus on primary classes. So concluding statements about primary classes in Turks and Caicos Islands. So 3 key ideas, the 3 key points in the question have been made. And how many options? 5. Another important part of this test is very quickly go through the options, because if a particular word or phrase is being repeated in the options, that could help you to locate the answer faster. For example, in A, B, C, D, and E. What is a particular word or phrase which is like being repeated? Yes, correct, multigrade. Multigrade is in A, is in B, is in C, and is in E, which means this is the part we need to locate the answer. And if you scan the paragraph quickly, just scan the paragraph quickly. Yes, you don't need to go through the text like very carefully. Very quickly scan the paragraphs. There are 3 paragraphs, and try to find multigrade. Where do you see this multigrade for the first time? Yes, correct. Paragraph 2. In paragraph 2, we can see the word multigrade for the first time, which may mean this is the location of the answer. So this is actually the way we approach the test, the multiple choice, multiple answer test in PTE reading. And now you should know that the answers which are incorrect are either not stated in the text, they are either not given at all, or they are contradicted. So just know that correct responses or correct options are the ones which are clearly mentioned, and incorrect responses either not mentioned, not given, or contradicted. And this is actually very helpful when you are going to make sure your response is correct, because if, for example, you get B and D as your correct answers, you must make sure that A, C, and E are either not mentioned or contradicted. This kind of confirms your answer, and we call it elimination technique. This is called elimination, which is a very popular technique in multiple choice questions, either multiple answer or single answer. Now, pause the video please and go through the paragraph carefully, and 2 minutes. This is the standard time of the test, because you know that in PTE you must be really fast. So in 2 minutes, try to read the paragraph and go through the options. After, of course, analyzing the question and scanning very quickly, skimming the options, now you should go back to the paragraph and read it carefully in 2 minutes. Okay, pause the video please and try to find the correct answers. Okay, how did you go? How many options you got as the correct response? Yes, 2. A and D are the correct responses for this test. Now let's see how. A. Multigrade classes are mostly found in smaller schools. Where did we locate the multigrade schooling? Yes, paragraph 2. Okay, turn to paragraph 2 please. And for A, where did you find A? Is it at the beginning of the paragraph, middle, or the end of the paragraph? Yes. It's actually not at the beginning of the paragraph. The beginning of the paragraph, where it says there are a total of 10 government primary schools on the island. Of these, 7 are large enough to organize pupils into single group classrooms, and pupils in these schools are generally grouped by age into mixed ability classes. This is the location for D. Most primary pupils are mixed ability classes. Yes, because out of these 10, 7 are large enough to organize pupils into single grade, and pupils in these schools are generally grouped by age into mixed ability classes, which means 7 schools follow a mixed ability education system. So this is D. And where do we find A? The remaining 3 schools, so out of 10, the remaining 3 schools, because of their small pupil numbers, operate with multigrade grouping. Multigrade classes are mostly found in smaller schools. This is the location of A. Here, we come across a new technique. You cannot expect order. You may find, for example, D before A or D before B. Yes, this is quite common. And now, as an activity, try to know and try to go back to the text and know why B, C, and E cannot be the correct responses. Are they not mentioned or contradicted? So as an activity, try to do this one. Make sure that B, C, and E are either not mentioned or contradicted. Okay, enjoy your activity, enjoy your studies, and we are waiting for your homeworks, for your assignments. If you have any question, you can post your questions on our Facebook or on your online forum. The academic team at Turner English will get back to your questions, and please submit your homework on time. The teachers are waiting for you. Thank you. Bye for now.